Well, I was really interested in getting an opportunity to go to the Middle East. After 9/11, I just felt a strong calling to try to live in the region and understand the region more personally, and the Fulbright Scholarship offers that opportunity. Senator Fulbright from Arkansas had a vision of connecting Americans with cultures abroad, and so Americans can go and become cultural ambassadors in these other countries. And likewise, people from other countries can come here and become cultural ambassadors from their country. And it's just a great investment, I think, in relationships between people. We found people there to be incredibly friendly and gracious and extending hospitality to us, opening their homes. The best part for me was to see my children experience the culture. I have 3 kids, and so they were able to be part of the whole experience. And the whole rest of their lives, I think they'll be benefiting from that experience of being part of other language groups, hearing other sort of music, other types of cultural events, different smells, shape those kids, I think, for life. Some of the cultural differences, I think, are pretty obvious. The difference Islam and Christianity in terms of religious differences also are very prominent, and those differences are the kind of things people are very aware of. So those things are very much in the headlines. But the thing we found too was that there were similarities, and there are people there who love their families, want to spend time with their children. Families that want to get the best for their children, want them to get the best education they can do, and there's a tremendous orientation toward loving family and supporting family that we found to be similarity between the West and between the Middle East. When our friends discovered that we were Christians, they wanted to have a deeper dialogue and more discussion about the differences and the similarities between the religions. And I think the stereotype that most folks in the Middle East have of Americans is that we're very secular, and that we separate our faith from the rest of our lives, that we're hypocrites, that we say we're Christian but we then live differently. But I think what is surprising to them is when someone tries to live consistently the way that they believe and strives for that. And when they find that, I think they find a commonality and an interest in being a person of integrity and consistency. That opened up the opportunity for all kinds of discussions. And so, for example, when we talked about fasting, every year in the month of Ramadan, they have a month-long fast. And during the daylight hours, there's no eating, drinking, smoking, or of any kind. And during that time, this very strict fast, it opened up a conversation for us to talk about fasting in Christianity as well, which many Christians participate in fasting for different reasons. So we could say there's similarity, that we both do fasting, but here are some differences, here are reasons why we do it, and it opened up a wonderful space for those kinds of conversations. I can talk directly about things I've experienced in the classroom, and I can share with students about things I've learned that are beyond what is in the textbooks. I've learned a great deal from reading and research, but there's nothing like a good personal story to share with students, a good anecdote that explains what you're looking at. And on a pretty regular basis, I'm able to bring those sorts of experiences into the classroom, share with my students what I've learned, and they benefit, and they can go on and hopefully someday be inspired to share similar kinds of stories from hopefully similar kinds of experiences. I'm Scott Waalkes, and I'm a pioneer.